Once again, we're judging on the inside also. I mean, out there, as you guys are making a judgment call. Let's go ahead and bring up our next presenter. Ian Cruickshank is the VP of Sales and Marketing at Speed Shift Media. And he's going to come up here. Ian, you're nearby. You were going to talk to us about how well a dealership does. VDP engagement correlates to car sales. Come on up. Okay, obviously passing off some sort of a, never mind, you're doing great so far.
There we go, perfect. So we're doing well here.
The timer's on.
And we've got the mic too, perfect. So folks, as mentioned, I'm Ian Cruickshank and here to talk to you today about a few things. But first off, a little note about Vancouver and where I'm from. So Vancouver is a great place, but there's a few facts, a few stereotypes that are absolutely true that you should know about. So we've got that one, definitely true. 100% true, and frankly, you should all come and visit because this is absolutely true as well. But that's not why we're here, right? That's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this person. This is a person that is consistently coming in to visit you and say things like this, and say things like this, and this. Leads are dead, right? Over and over again, we keep hearing that. And there's nothing really out there to represent the reality of what's actually going on. All it does is raise more questions. And in fact, just the other day, I was in an office in Boston, chatting with the head of marketing for one of the largest dealer groups in that area. And the owner came in to the room, and of course, he asked a question. He asked about leads. He said, "How many leads have you brought me today?" And I smiled a little bit, and I thought about this presentation and about the embargo on the data on this presentation, so I couldn't say much. But we are going to answer some of those questions. And people in the marketplace try to answer these questions on a regular basis. We see this, right? We see that 25% of buyers, 24% of buyers are submitting leads online. But we need to bring significantly more clarity to the design of this message, right? What are these others doing? So we'll go back in time. We'll go back in time and we'll explore what we created at Speed Shift Media. About 4, 5, even 6 years ago, we started developing the Brain. This is a data management platform that helps us to decide what vehicle to put in front of the right buyer at the right time in your marketplace, helping to ensure that that consumer moves from what we do over to the vehicle detail page. At the same time, we have to calculate and figure out what's happening post-click, because what we do is optimize for post-click interactions, whether it's a form fill, whether it's looking at photos, whether it's clicking on links, chat, text, or even social sharing. All of these pieces are being tracked, and in fact, we shifted the way that we track this information a little while ago. We switched to tracking all of those engagements so that we would never lose any. We track all of those clicks, the click stream, as it were. And then we pull out the pieces of information that are important to us so that we can clearly understand what's going on. So in doing this, we thought, hey, we can look at some very real patterns and get a real understanding of what is actually going on the VDP. So let's have a look. We tracked thousands of sold cars, okay? Over 50,000 sold cars throughout this study, over a 60-day period of time from beginning to end. We looked at all of these clicks, categorizing them, making sure that each of those pieces were categorized together. Anything that you submitted email for, anything that is visual media, be it video, be it 360, be it photo, anything that is chat or text, anything that's a link, be it linking to a hours and directions page, or be it linking to a Carfax or CarProof. And we also track social sharing. We normalized that data. So basically what we did is we made sold day 0. And we tracked out 60 days prior to understand what was happening on the vehicle detail page, to actually understand what was an indicator of potential sales, what was actually going to happen. We analyzed that data ad nauseum, okay, using a great tool set, Tableau, put all that information in to truly understand what was happening. Let's see what we learned. What might you expect from the VDP and how it translates into sales? Average chat and text. If you'll note, that's a flat line. The same thing happens approximately every day. In fact, it's constant. at an average of 1.5 all the way through the 60 days prior to that vehicle being sold. Not a real indicator. Average social sharing, same sort of thing, stays on that flat line at 1.2. Average links, interestingly, that even showed a decline. Not an indicator of any more movement, not an indicator that this vehicle is going to sell. So what do we always get asked for? What do you guys want most when you're talking to those folks that are representing your business and bringing traffic to your website? You want form submissions, you want leads. Well, this is kind of unfortunate in that that's a bit flat too. And it stands to reason, right? There's such a small percentage of people submitting those leads, and you've got only a 6% increase over the lifetime of that vehicle before it actually is sold. So the next one, finally, some exciting news. We didn't actually waste our time looking at all this data. We were actually able to see a very significant increase in photo and video consumption over the 60 days prior to that vehicle being sold. So consumers, particularly the individuals most interested in those vehicles, are consuming more of that vehicle each day when that vehicle is getting ready to move off the lot. Okay? So that increase was actually 38% from the 60-day, from day one right through to the day sold. You can see those metrics compared in detail, right? You can see that's the only one that's showing a significant increase over time. That's the only indicator that a vehicle is actually going to move off the lot. So what insight can you garner from that? Well, photo and video interactions on the vehicle detail page are the greatest indicator of sales. You don't need as many photos and videos as you might think. You just need them to be great. We saw there wasn't 30 interactions with photos. There was 5, 6, 7. You only need a few photos to understand that you want that car. Vehicles sold in 60 days. Vehicles sold in 40 days. Sold in 20 days. That curve gets steeper and steeper, and consistently showing us that video, photo, media interactions, those important pieces, are key to seeing what is going to move off the lot. Increase of photo activity is going to increase the speed in vehicle sales. So you can actually derive that if you've got a vehicle that's not seeing a significant increase, if you're looking at 10 days or 20 days, you need to steepen something. You need to increase the promotion of that vehicle in some way, shape, or form. Domestic. Imported. Luxury. Okay? Stands to reason when you can think of it, right? That's going to increase over time. A luxury vehicle, you're going to look at that more often potentially than that domestic vehicle, but those are all increasing all the way through. So whatever the brand, whatever kind of car you sell, you can get significant value from understanding the steepness of that curve. So how can you apply this in your store? How can you quickly make use of this information? You don't need a data management platform. We assessed a huge amount of vehicles to understand what was going on there. You need Google Analytics applied through Google Tag Manager and Excel. And everyone has those tools at their disposal. Not everyone can get the full tech package, the new version, right? So you must, going forward, focus more attention on the 76%, change those metrics to VDP engagement or vehicle detail page engagement, adjust your tactics to focus on the sources that bring you high photo and video and 360 engagement, those key engagements to understand the vehicle. And you must increase the quality of your photos and videos, not the quantity. So to ask the question one last time, how well do these interactions correlate to car sales? Extremely well, provided you're looking at the right metric. Thank you.
And that's time. Okay. Judges panel.
That's really interesting information. Did you do any cross-correlation to see if pairing anything with the photo and video content changed the factors at all?
Great question. So in fact, we didn't look at those data points, so putting the two pieces together. What we saw, though, was that really, no matter how you sliced it, there was no interaction that was assisting that piece. It was exclusively on its own. Yeah.
Ian, did you see a difference between the new and used car side of this? Because presumably it would be meaningful with so many more of the same new cars out there.
Yeah, great question. So what's interesting with new car is people don't need to consume as many photos, right? So they can see that that vehicle is there. They can see the shape that it's in. Whereas pre-owned, it is important to actually have a larger number of photos to be able to better understand what you're into.
Would you say that you're better off to have no video if the video is poor video than to have any video?
Great question. From the data we assessed, I can't answer that properly.
This makes sense to me because last night, I'm a married man, the first time I witnessed a friend on a dating app, and he's going up and down and all over the place, and he's essentially discarding of people, and it was really interesting. But what I noticed is that when he goes up, I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm looking at more pictures. So the first one is like one back, forth, like it's accepting or declining. And then up is like looking at more. And it made me realize just how incredibly fast the decision of that magnitude is being made. But also how important that first photo is. Yep. And obviously I'm more interested in merchandising automobiles, and I thought, I don't really need 100 photos, I just need really, really good ones.
Well, Tony, do I need to point out that the wrong decision there could cost you a lot more money than a car?
It's true.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not sure if it's possible, but if I can get the slides back up. Let's see if it happens. And we won't count this in the time, obviously. It's just
it counts. Oh, it counts? Oh, it counts. It all counts.
Well, let's just put it this way. So in looking at the consumer behavior, and actually, funnily enough, as we were talking about this, I'm thinking of a slide that we had up. Oh, we're going right back to the start, so never mind that. But effectively, yeah, that first picture, think of it as quality. You've got to have high-quality photos of what you're showing the consumer. So many folks that we see want to put the logo of the store into that photo. They want to put maybe some sort of message into that photo. For goodness sakes, let someone look at the car. Let someone see what that car looks like and make sure it's a great shot. People that are investing in 360-degree photo booths so they can take high-quality photos. People that are investing in a higher quality camera to get higher quality photos. Make sure that initial shot and those key shots are of high quality. If we don't, if we're just saying, here's the lot, kid, throw him a little quick cam, go out, get a bunch of shots, make sure you take 30, because that's the number we were told we needed. And make sure you take a picture of the VIN, because I can't write it on the vehicle detail page description, right? All of these pieces, it doesn't make sense. So make sure, yes, that first photo, as you're swiping left or right, as a married guy, I don't really know which way you're swiping. As you're swiping left or right, we have to have that disclaimer. It's safety first. So as you're going back and forth, right, you're going to make that quick decision on that one shot. The same thing as the consumer. You saw there's not a huge amount of photos being looked at on any of those sold vehicles. So make them count.
Okay. Troy?
Elimination from the consideration set, swiping left and right. My question's pretty easy too. It kind of goes to the classification of the VDPs. Did price come into this consideration at all, like a lower priced car garnering more clicks than a higher priced car?
Great question. So obviously we know that merchandising is a really important piece of the puzzle. In this study, we did not consider. We were simply looking for what part of the vehicle detail page is the most likely to help convert on that vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. For the next study.
All right. Any more? One more.
I feel like I should help you a bit because I think the real insight from this that's actionable for us would be, it's great to look at it and it's great to know, okay, this car is likely going to sell or faster than the next one. But if you apply it to your pricing system, you have a reason to defend your margin, to not drop the price on any specific car. If you're looking at making a decision on a pricing bucket at day 20 and this car is getting a lot of engagement, you have a meaningful tool to say, no, I'm going to hold firm there. And I think that's, could turn into a lot of money for the dealership. So
yeah, very true.
Okay. And with that, we're out of time.
Thank
you
you
very
all.
much, Ian. Good luck to you. All right.